All right, Jeremy here, partsbreakers.com, aka Jeeps Unlimited, or previous Jeeps Unlimited. Eventually I'll have to stop saying that. We are still Jeeps Unlimited, and that's where our local LLC is. But on our national level, on our website, we're known as Parts Breakers, and that's been since August of 2021. And there's some other reasons we had to do that, just because the name, Jeep wasn't real thrilled about us using the name, which is, you know, I'm not gonna get into it. It is what it is. It's a bummer. We've had the name since '84, but whatever. You know what? Parts Breakers been really good for us. So anyway, let me stop blabbing about who we are, other than a 7-acre, virtually rust-free. Occasionally we'll get a little bit, but not much. Nothing Midwest rust, nothing East Coast rust. Usually it's poor maintenance if we get a little bit out here, just people not washing the Jeeps and stuff. So, all right, so 97 to 01 tub. We'll work on an 02 to 06. There's only a slight modification that has to be done, but it will bolt right on. You can check out our other videos or contact us, and I will get you that information if you need it, on how to do that. Or usually I have one of the others sometimes, although tubs, I leave in less than 2 weeks, so like 10 days for the East Coast. And we've always had a big order. I mean, in March I sent out 7 tubs when I went out in March. And so I was thinking, man, this is so much bigger, but we got 7 tubs going out this time, which is just nuts. I mean, it's the same as March, but it just, you know, it always shocks me, but it's awesome. I mean, I really love doing it. And, you know, it takes me out of the office, which is fun, but also, you know, things come back and sometimes a mess. So anyway, back to the tub. So we're looking at a low B, high C, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to show you this tub as if you were here in person and just having a conversation with me. Firewall, super clean, no damage here. Upper cowl, no damage here. I cleaned it up the best I could. We finally got a decently warm day. It's like 42 today, so I'll take it, because last week I was washing at 32. It was literally freezing under my feet. Side, lower rocker, nice and clean. Fender flare, they had some aftermarket flares, so you can see some of the bolts left over for that. Here, these aren't a big deal. This, I wouldn't really discount the tub much. I mean, it would, you know, it's built into the price, discounted slightly. It had a rack on it, which I still have. If somebody's interested in having those holes filled in via the intended way, which was a rack. Otherwise, if you're going to armor it, or if you're going to paint it and you don't want those, you just fill them in. You can weld them in, or you can use fill, or whatever you want. It's all flat. It's all accessible. Nothing boxed in up in those areas. Nice clean corner. I've had a lot of tubs with corners that have come in bad. On this one we ran out of time, so I'm including the tailgate on this one. It's built into the price. If it's not something you need, it will take it off. Do know it opens and closes as it should, which is really nice. So the hinges aren't seized up and whatnot, so just keep that in mind. I think somebody got wise and they drilled out the outer of these hinges, put some grease in them or something, because they move really nicer than most. So nice rear right corner. Again, you got the same holes mimicking the other side for that rack that was set up on it, and then through here. So just appearance on the outside, this would be an A tub. Okay, on the inside, right? So floors solid. Roll bars came out, only one bolt broke, and it was because one of my guys didn't pull it right, but I have a tool that does those. So feet, these are all solid. You get a little bit of scale here, but this isn't much. This is probably actually from the roll bar itself more than anything. This is solid. There's nothing cracking there. There's nothing cracking over there. Trust me, I'll show you when something like that goes really, really noticeable when they start rotting out, specifically in the floor. So nice clean rear wheel wells. Again, nice clean bolts there. Little dimple back on that bar. You know, with the rack on it, who knows? I mean, the rack was weighted on itself, so I can't imagine why that, but it's not much, but it's definitely got a little dimple in it. And it's, I mean, super hard to tell. But again, I do these videos if you were standing here next to me. Partly because if I deliver them, well, the whole reason is just we have a good reputation, we want to keep it that way. But also I'm going to deliver it, and you're going to see it eventually. Or if I don't deliver it, you're still going to see it. So floor is super clean. Okay, driver's side, absolutely beautiful passenger. Again, based on this would be an A. Okay, I would have make it an A- on the outside for the holes drilled in for the rack, but still, it would still be considered an A. Let me lift it up, and I'll tell you. So ahead of time, There are 2 torque pockets that are collapsed. Now, I want you to look at these because this tub is heavily discounted because of it, and I do that only on these issues. Not to sell you this tub versus an A tub, because I would be happy to sell you either one. But when these collapse, usually they break the bolts. Okay, this one did not break. This is still solid. This is not floating around in here. It's not completely broke loose. This can easily be fixed. When they fully break loose and then they break the bolt in them, I mean, you're doing pretty good work. This is definitely gonna require some attention. So, and it's the same on the other side. So, but I'm gonna show you that here. So, torque pocket up front, they broke this one out. This one was actually kind of goofy the way they had it, because they had a body lift on this Jeep. And that's probably what caused this issue, more so than even like rot or rust getting up in there. They put those hard plastic body bushings on them, and we're really lucky on this tub it didn't do them all, because I've seen them when that happens. So that's probably something that wasn't done too long ago. But anyway, they had a big old, they had them up here too. So that stud needs to be pulled. But I left an inch on that one. So you should be able to get on that one easily. And then this one here, again, it is what it is, but you can use it as is, but I would definitely at least treat what's in there. If you're gonna use it and not re-weld anything, fine, but at least get what's out of there so it prevents it from eating out anymore. Okay, next one, absolutely beautiful. This is what they should look like: non-collapsed, non-cracked, nothing like that. Starting to see a little bit there, but just surface, nothing big. Thread's good. You got your above, this ones you can't see normally. This is above your gas tank. These actually do float around in here, they're supposed to. Nice clean threads there. You got your rear ones, again, floaters there. That one's nice and clean. This guy's nice and clean, all moving, okay? This is all what you want, okay? Perfect on the back end. Passenger side, again, same, it's a little bit of surface here, not much, good threads. Actually, I thought this one was worse. I don't know, I looked at it wrong. So it's just that one, really. This one's starting to do kind of what the rest of them are, but not bad. And then you got this one is perfect. And this one's kind of like what it's supposed to be, it's kind of floating around in there. So, other side, I'd probably nutsert it, drill it out, and just get rid of that and just put a nutsert in and call it good, because it is a boxing area. Otherwise, you can get creative with those. So, price is going to be discounted because of that torque pocket being collapsed, which is unfortunate, because otherwise this tub would be in the $3,000 range really easily. And we've been selling our low A's very, very quickly. Well, our high A's too, but a high A is usually 35, a low A 3. B's are usually your 2 to 3,000. Depending, usually around 25 is what we average on B's. And then C's, I don't do a lot of C's, but we do have a few of them right now. C's are going to be possibly more torque pockets damage, like 2 or 3 of them damage, right? And then also on top of that, you're gonna have body damage, and typically it's gonna be corners. So that's why this is still a really nice tub. And I know it won't last long, especially with the discounts you'll be on it. So again, remember, if you don't want that tailgate, that will knock you down a couple $100. We did a better deal on it because we left it on, didn't have to pull it. But those are a rust-free tailgate like that, which you can see just up under this lip here. Okay, this is, I mean, we got to kind of pull this gasket, but there's no rust in this thing whatsoever. It's a beautiful tailgate. So if you need a tailgate, and if you don't need it, then let's save money, we'll pull it off. It's no big deal. Okay, so I think that's it. I'll get a couple photos of the underside so you can see them. And then I got to rock and roll because we're going to lose light here today. Questions, comments, concerns, 303-666-9020. That is our main shop number. That is not a cell phone, that is a landline that rings to my cell. So I do get those frequently and all the time. But we are open 9 to 4 Monday through Thursday, closed Friday through Sunday. We do take appointments over the weekends. That's just our walk-in hours, and obviously the hours I stick to when I'm answering the phone. However, specifically this week, because we're getting ready for this load, I'm working around the clock. I got to get my tail end back here for Christmas, so we're going to be leaving around between the 10th. I have a doctor's appointment that afternoon to the 12th. Monday, if it takes me, a couple extra days of load. And then this is a big trip. We're going from Colorado all the way to Maine. So if you're in between and you see this on YouTube or you watch this video on our site or wherever you find it, and you're in between that and you can catch me, there's not a lot. I actually have one more spot for a tub. So that probably, that unfortunately the fate of that's probably gonna be gone here unless I happen to sell 5 more and I could bring another driver out. But there's a possibility, but very rare. Otherwise, it's going to have to be a few months before I can get tubs back out East Coast. And we will deliver freight. Freight does go out there. We do it all the time. Matter of fact, I'll show you what they look like. They got to be crated. Now, we were getting a good deal from a spa company that was giving us crates that we were making work, right? So they weren't like professional, but they were, that's one right there. They were usable. And then we just, you know, seal them up a little better. That source fell through recently. That company went out of business and we can't find any other ones. So that means we got to go back to buying wood again. On a crate, it's $440 to build a crate, to buy the 2x4s and do it the way, you know, that unfortunately need to be done. So that's a huge expense that you'll incur on top of the freight. So it's up to, it's easily $1,000 to ship something when I'm not doing it. When I'm doing it, we cut you deals on it. And once you get the freight flat rate down, whatever that is at the time, and that's based on fuel a little bit, but anything you ship, so you need a tub, you need a frame, you need a hard top. I mean, we can pile this thing full of parts. I'm not going to charge you any more for that. And we do the same for when we ship crates out. If you do a frame, obviously there is an additional charge there just because the freight company charges us, but in that thing we can pile things up. So anyway, 7 acres, rust-free Jeep parts. We do everything out here as far as Jeeps go. We're really, really big into our CJs, YJs, TJs, and now getting into our JKs. But as you can see, we got some Comanches, Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, and then in the back, we got some diesels and yada, 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 yada. So that's it. This is the longer video of the day. The rest of them I'll try to keep a little shorter than this. We'll rock and roll, and I appreciate it. 303-666-9020. Again, my name's Jeremy, partsbreakers.com. Thank you.